Gerrymandering is a bad thing. Gerrymandering has a very, very counterproductive effect on American democracy, on our constitutional republic. See, our constitutional republic was built on the idea that equal representation is the most important thing that we can have. The Constitution, Article 1 of the Constitution, describes the Congress as being part House of Representatives and the Senate. And if you look at the Constitution, you'll find that the House of Representatives is really the single most important part of the government, and that makes a lot of sense that the House of Representatives would be that, because we want equal representation. Now, what gerrymandering does, gerrymandering takes away the power of our constitutional republic by taking away the power of the House of Representatives, and it takes away your representation as an American citizen. You deserve to be represented equally, and you need to be represented equally. You have a reasonable expectation of being represented equally. But in recent weeks and recent months, the whole gerrymandering thing has really been a big presence. And so I figured I'd explain it to you and let you know why it is gerrymandering is bad and how it negatively affects how you are represented in Congress. Okay, gerrymandering is the process of drawing congressional district lines in a way that influences election outcomes. It doesn't stop people from voting, but it can change how much their vote actually matters. Every 10 years after the census is completed by the United States Census Bureau, states are required to redraw their congressional districts based on population changes. In most states, that responsibility falls to the state legislature. That means the people in power often have influence over how those lines are drawn. The term gerrymandering comes from Elbridge Gerry, a governor of Massachusetts in 1812. One of the districts he approved had such an unusual shape that people said it looked like a salamander. The name stuck, and the practice has continued for over 200 years. Now, you might ask, if this has been around so long, why is it still allowed? Well, the Constitution gives states the authority to draw their own districts, and the Supreme Court has generally treated gerrymandering as a political issue rather than something the courts should fully control. So the system allows it, but that doesn't mean it works well. Gerrymandering works in two main ways: packing and cracking. Packing means concentrating voters from one group into a small number of districts so they win those districts by large margins, but lose influence everywhere else. Cracking means spreading those voters across many districts so they never have enough numbers to win. The result is the same. Election outcomes become predictable. And here's the important part. This doesn't just hurt one party, it hurts both Republicans and Democrats. When districts are safe, candidates don't need to appeal to a broad group of voters. That can lead to more extreme positions, less compromise, and less accountability. What you end up with is a system where representatives are less responsive to the people as a whole. Now, let's look at Oregon. Here's the current congressional district map. You can see how populations and political groups are distributed across the state. Now, compare that to this alternative approach. In this model, the state is divided into 6 equally populated districts, each with a roughly balanced political composition, about 50-50 Democrat and Republican. In a system like this, candidates would need to appeal to a wider range of voters. Elections would be more competitive, and representatives would be more accountable. This kind of approach doesn't guarantee outcomes, but it improves the process. And that's really the point. Our country was founded on the idea that government derives its power from the consent of the governed. When representation is fair, that consent is stronger. When representation is distorted, trust begins to break down. Avoiding gerrymandering isn't about helping one party or the other, it's about strengthening the system itself. A fair system leads to better decisions, better representation, and ultimately a stronger Oregon and a stronger United States. So as I've said before, my name is Thomas W. Timbrooks, and I will be running for the House of Representatives, the United States House of Representatives, the one in Washington, for, representative for Oregon's 6th Congressional District. Presently, I'm a write-in candidate. You'd have to write my name down, Thomas W. Timbrooks. And so if I do get elected in 2026 or 2028, I'm planning on running in 2028 also. If I do get elected, this is one thing that I will concentrate my efforts on, is ensuring that gerrymandering is eliminated. I think that artificial intelligence could help out here by creating, I asked artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, can you create a map of Oregon that has 6 congressional districts, each one with equal population and each one with equal distribution of Republican and Democrat, and it took about 10 seconds for it to do that. Now, if artificial intelligence can do it in 10 seconds, it can be done. And all we have to do is agree on its necessity. So, Thomas W. Timbrooks, write-in candidate for Oregon's 6th Congressional District. Thank you very much, and God bless.